What is going on, guys? Carter here with Edge Mindset. We are looking at a knife. As you can see, this is a knife. This is the Microtech Socom Elite Auto. This is the first Socom Elite Auto that I've ever handled in my entire life, which sounds crazy, but it's absolutely true. This is the first Socom Elite Auto that I have ever handled. I do have a Socom Elite manual, which was also the first time I ever handled any Socom Elite, was when I got this one, like, I don't know, 8 months ago or something like that. Thinking about doing a comparison video between these two. Oh, see, I just tried to unlock it with my thumb. Oh, geez. I might do a comparison video between these two, see if there's any difference in weight and things like that, point out some stuff. But yeah, for now, let's talk about this guy. Let's do some specs. Because one of the best things about this knife, in my opinion, is it's super lightweight, 4.7 ounces, which you might say, oh, it's not that crazy. But when you consider how big it is, right? It's all about perspective. When you consider how big it is very impressive because this thing has like a 4-inch blade. Look at that. It's actually like maybe just slightly over 4 inches. 9 1/4-ish overall. Like, this is a big knife. And look at all this cutting edge. Look at these beautiful serrations. I love the way Microtech does their serrations. I am a sucker for it, and I know I'm going to hear all the comments right now. You can't sharpen those. It's harder to sharpen. Yeah, I know. Still kind of worth it. And let's be honest, most of my cutting is done up here anyways. It's pretty rare that I need to use all of this. But yeah, I will have to send it in to get these serrations fully sharpened. But I think it's worth it because look how freaking wicked this is. I mean, it just looks cool. And I like with the Tanto, how the serrations run all the way up this flat edge right here, and then they stop right before this one starts. Just such a clean break. Like, Microtech with the full serrations on the Tanto is really something else. This has the M390 steel with the apocalyptic finish. It's basically an acid wash finish. Classic. I still like it. It's been used for a long time. I remember when this finish first started coming out, it was only in customs you would see this acid wash finish, and it was all the rage. I would have thought it would have faded by now, but it's just one of those things that it works so well and it looks so good, you know, it's around to stay. They used to do really dark ones, though, too. It's kind of like a battle to see who could do the darkest acid wash out there. This is a fairly light one, but looks really good. So basically, you just oxidize it. Well, I don't know if it's oxidized, but you put it in acid, makes it dark, and then you tumble it to give it that stonewash finish. Looks really cool. This actually has a little bit of side to side. I believe it has to do with the fact that it's the auto, but I could be wrong, because other Microtech autos that I have don't have that, and certainly my manual doesn't have that. So if you have a Socom Elite Auto in your possession, let me know in the comments down below if you have any side-to-side wiggle. I've tried to tighten this. It won't tighten anymore. I don't know if it's because it's Loctited or if it's maxed out. I haven't tried to back out the screw and see, but I don't really care. It's fine. Lock up front to back is rock solid. Button locks are just fantastic. You can see where that button lock kind of engages in here. Really nice, really solid. In terms of the button lock, I like how big it is. Look how big that button lock is. Really nice, really easy to press and manipulate. And let's see, I'm trying to see if I can find something flat. We can use this. So if you take this and you press it, you can feel the button go in a little bit, but not enough to deploy it. So it is safe. As you can see, when I push the blade back in, it pops out a little bit, but it doesn't go in enough to actually deploy. It gets close, but not enough to actually deploy. We've got 6061 aluminum frame here, semi-open construction, anodized black, obviously. You've got these grip inserts, which are kind of a rubbery type grip. I really like them. I don't know how well they hold up. I've got a little bit of garbage in there I've got to clean up. I've been carrying this guy. Really well centered, Glass breaker on the end right there, pretty cool. Fires like a rocket. You can see if I don't hold it strongly, it'll like almost kick out of my hand. Fires really, really well. Tip down carry. What? That's the #1 complaint with this series. And I get it. My only assumption is that they do it for tradition. This is a very old design, designed by Tony Marfione. It did get some upgrades with this latest version. This is not exactly how they appeared when it first came out, but the overall silhouette, shape, and features have remained unchanged for the most part, including this tip-down clip here. Easily could have put it right there. You could just have a clip right here. I don't mind it. You know, I used to be a tip-down hater through and through. It was tip-up only club for life. And I've since kind of changed that stance, and I don't really care. I think it's fine. And in some cases, for larger knives, I could make the argument that it actually makes more sense. When you pull it out, you just let it drop in your hand. It's ready to go, especially an auto like this. It's in your pocket. You grab it. Your thumb's already on the button. Boom, opens up. Whereas if it was this way, you'd pull it out. You'd have to like creep up on it, hit the button. So in terms of deployment and usability, makes more sense to be tipped down. But you still think they would provide the option to do tip up. The manual has this little lump here that would kind of get in the way because of where they put the lock bar in there. And so this is the one I got first, and I thought, well, maybe that's why, because, you know, this might get in the way and make it kind of weird. But the automatic version doesn't have that at all. So I don't know. It is what it is. Like I said, doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. I've come to accept tip down. In fact, it almost feels like a little rebellious and punk rock to get tip down knives. But what I will say, actually, let me take a drink of this delicious LaCroix, which is Raz Cranberry. Ooh, that's refreshing. The weirdest thing about these is the lanyard hole. Can anybody tell me why we want a lanyard hole on a tip-down knife? Not only do I not get the purpose, and maybe I don't understand lanyards. I always thought lanyards, the main point originally was it gave you something to like hold on to, right? Because like tip down, it's hanging out of your pocket. You can grab that lanyard. You can rip that out if you need to, if you can't really get in there. Secondarily, it might give you some paracord if you need it. But that doesn't function here because tip down, it's sitting in the bottom of your pocket and it's just going to bunch up there and take up more space. I don't know why you would want a lanyard on a tip down knife. If anybody knows the thought process there as to why somebody would want that, please let me know. I legitimately could be a reason that I'm just not thinking about. And maybe it's just, I don't know what lanyards are really for then. That very well could be the case, that I don't even understand the fundamental purpose of lanyards. So let's talk ergonomics. One of the most ergonomic knives, in my opinion, out there, barring the fact that there is a little bit of weirdness with, or at least for me, there's a little bit of weirdness how it tapers down. 100% functional, because it'll actually help keep it in your hand. Like if you're thrusting on something, it's creating a wedge so that it's less likely to push in, which you don't want to have happen, because then your hand is going on the blade. So not only does it have this nice choil here that locks in your finger, you've got this thumb ramp here, but just the very nature of it tapering down makes it conducive to not sliding further into your hand than you want it to. However, it feels a little off-putting to me compared to other knives. And this goes, not just this one, just any knife where it tapers like that. It feels kind of weird. I don't know. I like having kind of wideness here. And your results may vary. I just wanted to point that out. But if I can get past that weirdness, it's actually just super ergonomic. Like there's really no hot spots. Other than, you know, maybe you could say if you really squeeze it, you can feel some of these corners, but they're all nice and curved. Feels great in the hand. Multiple ways you can grip this. You can actually, it's got like a reverse ramp right here. So if you're doing like draw cuts, you can put your thumb here and you're actually kind of preventing it from sliding forward too. So it really just locks in your hand. Or of course you can come back here, saber grip, hammer grip, Reverse grip is probably the least comfortable, but also probably the least likely to be used. Overall, just great design. This thing has been around for so long. It's been tried and trued. A lot of military folks really like this line of knives. And with automatic knives becoming more and more legal in a lot of states, I would take an opportunity and jump on one of these. Don't let the tip down. Like, it's really not that big a deal. Don't let that keep you from trying one of these out, because outstanding series. I wish they had a mini. I wish they had an Elite Mini. I think that would be a huge seller. I don't know why they don't, or if they ever have. I don't recall ever seeing a Socom Elite Mini, which is strange for being such a flagship model of Microtech that they don't have a smaller version. There's actually not that many configurations, really. They've got the tanto and the drop point, and then you've got kind of just different surface finishes and serration patterns, but that's about it. So kind of interesting. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You take it easy. Next up, I think I'm going to do a comparison between these two just for fun. See you guys.